What if I told you that in just a few weeks you could drastically improve your flexibility? Like many people, I used to neglect flexibility training, but now, in my 30s, I've had to relearn it and truly understand its importance. And here's the thing, science shows that with the right approach, anyone can improve their range of motion, reduce stiffness, and feel better in their body. This isn't your typical stretching video where you watch someone already insanely flexible. Instead, you'll see someone like me, someone working on their flexibility just like you. I've already seen real improvement, and I want you to experience that too. Dr. Andrew Huberman has broken down the research-backed way to stretch for real results. It's not about guessing, it's about using proven methods. Stretching influences not just your muscles, but also your nervous system and connective tissues. Research shows that while different types of stretching like dynamic, ballistic, and PNF have their benefits, static stretching is one of the most effective for improving long-term flexibility. And that's exactly what we're doing today. This is a full follow-along routine, so you don't have to think about what to do. Just hit play and move with me. We're also putting to the test a key research finding, that holding a stretch for 30 seconds, 2 to 4 sets, at least 5 days a week, adding up to just 5 minutes per week per muscle group, can significantly improve flexibility. This session is structured to help you hit that goal and see real progress over time. Of course, we all have different goals, so this routine is a great starting point, but depending on your needs, whether it's mobility for strength training, recovery, or just feeling better in daily life, you might need to adjust the structure, frequency, or duration of your stretches. Think of this as your foundation and build from here. Before we begin, remember, like any workout, you should warm up your body first. That won't be part of this video, but I encourage you to spend a few minutes getting your muscles ready for stretching. A light walk, some gentle movements, or any mobility work will prepare you for these stretches and help prevent injury. So let's get started. Alright, so we're starting with a hamstring stretch. Tight hamstrings can lead to lower back tension and actually limit mobility in squats and deadlifts. So you can do this seated or standing. Make sure to keep a slight bend in your knees if needed. Don't force it. Just let gravity do the work. We're here for 30 seconds and we're going to do 2 sets of these. Over time, as your muscles adapt, you may notice your range of motion just improving naturally. Take another 5 seconds here, and then we'll do our last set of 30 seconds. We're targeting the hamstrings, your lower back, your calf. If you're performing this seated, just make sure to extend your legs straight and just hinge at the hips to reach toward your feet. A little tip here, keep your spine long, avoid rounding your back if you can. And if your hamstrings are really tight, place your hands on your shins or use a yoga strap just to bridge the gap. So now we're going to go into our quadriceps. So this is going to target the front of the thigh, which gets tight from sitting or heavy leg work. So hold on to something for balance if you need, if you're standing. Tuck your pelvis under slightly. If you feel tension in your knee, just try squeezing your glutes to engage the hip and protect your joints. Take another 5 seconds here, and we'll switch sides. If you're performing this standing up, grab one ankle and pull it toward your glutes while keeping your knees aligned. If you bring your leg closer while performing the movement that I am, you're going to feel the stretch a bit more. Good job. Now we're going to go to the other side again. In another 30 seconds or so. You're doing great. Just breathe. Try to ease into the stretch. Ensure that your mind knows that you're relaxed. So Really focus on that deep breathing. Last time on the last side here. If the stretch feels tough for you, just make sure you're adjusting as needed. Don't force anything. Just really focus on your breathing. Just a reminder again, small improvements over time are going to lead to big results. I'm trying to be patient with my flexibility routine, and I've seen improvement the last 6 weeks, and so can you. All right, we're going to do a downward dog. Helps with tight calves, which can really lead to ankle mobility issues and even knee pain. You can walk the dog, so really press your heel toward the ground, and if needed again, just bend your knee slightly to focus on the deeper soleus muscle. And if one side feels tighter than the other, just spend a little extra time there. It's completely normal to have imbalances, so you can walk the dog. You've probably heard of that before. As always, you can start in a high plank and then essentially you push your hips up and back into that downward dog position. Keep your hands shoulder width apart and press your heels toward the floor. Focus on keeping your legs straight without locking your knees if you can. Really engage your core as well and just press firmly through your palms to maintain that alignment. Now we've moved on to hip flexors here. And it's essential, especially are you sitting all day? Tight hip flexors can pull on your lower back. Keep your core engaged and avoid arching your back, just for a deeper but safe stretch. You can also place a pillow or yoga block under your back knee if the position's not comfortable for you. We're working on those hip flexors here as well as your quads. You just step 1 foot forward into a lunge position and sink your hips down while keeping your torso upright. Engage your glutes and just to help prevent overarching your lower back. And if you want a deeper stretch, you can raise your arms overhead or just tilt slightly toward the front leg. Remember, we're only here doing 2 sets, 30 seconds for each set. Just that 5-second rest in between. Now do the same thing on the other side. Each side of our body is a bit different, so it might feel a little bit tighter. I know my left side is a bit weaker than my right side. You're doing great. Just remember, keep breathing, as your flexibility is connected to your cognitive state and your nervous system. You're doing great. Keep showing up for you. If you stay consistent and you stay committed, you're going to see those results. It's going to take time like anything. Here's our favorite butterfly stretch that we all sort of are very familiar with, probably from school age, working on our adductors. That inner thigh mobility is definitely going to help support squats and any lateral movements. If this is too intense, again, sit on a yoga block or lean forward slightly and just try gently pressing your knees down with your elbows, but don't force it. Let your body ease into the stretch naturally. This one's still a bit tough for me, but really just trying to breathe and lower those knees to the ground as best as I can. Definitely targeting that inner thigh and the groin. Make sure you're sitting with the soles of your feet together and let those knees just fall open. Hold your ankles, hold your feet and just gently press your knees toward the floor. If they are high, you can sit on a cushion or yoga block. So now we're going to move on to upper body, and we'll start with chest and shoulders. And we're going to just clasp our hands or interlace your fingers behind your back and just strain your arms while lifting them slightly away from your body. Keep your shoulders rolled back and down. If you have tight shoulders and just struggle to clasp your hands, you can use a towel or a resistant band just to bridge the gap. Another set here. Try to avoid arching your lower back and engage your core just to stay in a neutral posture. Almost done here. Now we'll move on to our back, our lats, and our thoracic spine. Child's pose is one of my favorite. This is so good for posture and overhead mobility. Just shift your hips back, hands straight. Try to put your chest down to the ground. I'm wearing a hat, so wasn't the best maybe decision today. Extend those arms forward, sit back. You can walk your hands to one side to intensify the stretch if you want along your ribs and lats. But definitely try to keep both hips grounded as you stretch, just to avoid shifting all the work into your lower back. If you struggle to sit on your heels, you can widen your knees just for some more space. All right, triceps. Again, we're working all those muscles today. This is your overhead tricep stretch. And if you're lifting weights like me, this keeps your shoulders and elbows moving well. So just make sure you're pressing lightly on your elbow or lean slightly to the side for a deeper stretch. And if you have trouble keeping your arm in place, try holding onto your shirt or using your opposite hand just to help support. Switch hands here. Again, we are targeting the triceps, bit of shoulder there, and even lats. You're reaching that one arm overhead, bending the elbow, and again, using your opposite hand just to gently press down. And if you're really finding it hard to keep your elbow pointing straight up, you can try leaning slightly to the side to open up your lats as well. Or, like I mentioned, you can hold on to a shirt or towel if you need that extra support. You might find these stretches a little boring or just familiar again from when we were all in grade school. But trust me, don't neglect them. Work out all of the body parts. Focus on flexibility the same way you do with any workout routine. And that's really the approach to take to it in order to see those improvements. I've been doing a lot of research, podcasts, reading, listening, and really these static stretches are so important. So whether you're warming up and going into a flexibility routine or you're doing this post-workout, it's going to be beneficial for you, and you will see that improvement if you just stay consistent. This is my goal and my focus for 2025. And I've never been more committed to it, and I wish I took it as seriously as I am now when I was in my 20s. All right, your neck, the last sort of part here, your lateral neck stretch. We definitely carry a lot of tension in the neck. Make sure to keep your shoulders down, and if needed, just gently assist the stretch with your hand. If you're at a desk like me all day, this is a great one to do throughout the day to relieve built-up of stiffness. You feel it in your upper traps here as well. You can sit or stand tall and just drop that ear toward your shoulder and gently assist the stretch with your hand if you need. Keep those shoulders down. Try to avoid shrugging. These are pro tips that I'm also telling myself as I'm going through these stretches. It might be hard to still do in the moment, but just try to be making a conscious effort. Being at that work desk all day, this is just so good to release built up tension in your neck and your upper traps. We're almost done here. You can perform this 3 times a week, and backed by science. Come comment on this video 6 weeks from now and let me know if you've seen the improvements. I certainly have. I wish I took videos of where I actually started. Again, I'm not the most flexible person. This isn't a person you're watching that's extremely flexible like some other follow along videos, but this is a person who has improved, and I'm proud of myself for that, and I'm going to keep going, and you'll see some more videos like this and you'll see my own improvement. Alright, so I'm just kind of going to put to the test and see how my mobility is now too. Doing a squat overhead reach as I go down, and it just feels really good as well. I feel like everything's opened up, even my hips and my hamstrings. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's an important one, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.